Hi there, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Please do excuse my poor camera work. My name is At Risk, and in this video I'm going to be showing off a little inverter that I got on eBay for about 20 bucks. Now, I know, people will say, $20 stuff can be pretty terrible, and I happen to agree. An inverter at this price point is, well, a toaster, and it's also missing a grounding wire down there. Now, do excuse my voice, it's just a bit groggy, but point is though, I got this inverter for $20 off eBay. It is a modified sine wave inverter. As you can see on the 240 volt section, there is no filter or capacitor in order to filter a PWM frequency to provide AC. But it is a modified sine wave inverter, so these 4 transistors here, since they are a full bridge, I believe it's a full H bridge, do actually switch the voltage from its peak, which I believe is something in the neighborhood of 240 volts, and they switch it to 120 by, I believe, going into a semiconducting mode. Now, the circuit isn't particularly complicated. You have your 12 volt supply coming in here, right there, flows all the way up, and it goes to what looks like a half wave or a half bridge ferrite switching system. You have a high frequency switching system that causes an expanding and contracting magnetic field in what appears to be a TV transformer. That frequency is then taken and it's then rectified using the diodes here, and it's stored in what I believe should be this capacitor here, and then it's switched using these transistors here into AC. Now, this inverter is, I got it off eBay for 20 bucks, so, the old saying, you get what you pay for, indeed does hold true. And I definitely wouldn't recommend this inverter for anything that, you particularly care about. I mean, it's an excellent inverter for a toy to run things, and the casing is plastic. But the way that they've mounted this board is there are no screws holding it to the actual case itself. I mean, look here. There's a bit of epoxy here that ultimately holds down one corner. That's broken. And you have nothing here, you have nothing there or there. But you do have a screw here that holds the board in place by using the FET pins for the switching converter. All up, this inverter is, well, you get what you pay for. I really can't hit it too hard because the case is made from plastic. So, if something does go wrong, you probably won't die. But the cover, well, that isn't made from plastic, but it does look like it's coated in it. But yeah, suffice to say, this inverter is actually pretty good if you want to use it just for testing things or doing experiments. I mean, it's $20, so if you make a fuck up and damage something, it doesn't really matter. It's literally $20 and it's a toaster. But I'm deeply, deeply skeptical of the power rating on this inverter, and I'll explain why in just a moment. One need only really look at the actual, let the camera focus. One really need only look at the ratings on the box. Like, it says right here that it's apparently rated for, I believe on the eBay listing, it's supposedly rated for about, oh, here it is. It says right here it's rated for 300 watts. I think, and I'm skeptically, the transformer can run maybe 300, 400 watts based on its size, but from what I'm reading though, the fuse is only set for, I believe it is, yeah, right there. The fuse is only good for 20 amperes. So, let's say you had a fully charged lead-acid battery. That's going to be something in the neighborhood of 13 volts if it's a deep cycle. So, I'm not particularly good with maths, but if you take 13 and you times it by 20, it falls just short. That, I'm deeply skeptical it would do that, because you look at these transistors here. These right here are the high voltage switching transistors. Now, I have not actually measured the temperature on these when they're running, but I'm a bit iffy about whether or not these would actually take 300 watts, because, I mean, sure, MOSFETs operating at high voltages tend to be a bit more efficient than lower voltages, but at the same time, with something that isn't heat sinked, I mean, you do get airflow from this rather noisy fan, but you're gonna run into problems. I mean, the inverter, yeah, certainly it's pretty good for running little things, just little experiments, but it really is quite terrible in the sense that I don't imagine this thing is going to very easily handle high wattages. I mean, it's a bit too much to ask of this thing. I mean, other than that, for the price point, it's a fun little toy. I wouldn't use it to run something that I actually care about. I certainly wouldn't use it as, in any application where I care about having power, but it's a toy. It's a toy inverter. It's something you can play with and you can damage and you can rebuild and fix and not really worry all that much about the problems. But I would definitely recommend, you see this little pin down here, solder something to that and run a wire out of this inverter and ground it, because it'll probably save your life if you make a fuck up. Anyways, guys, that's all, and this is my $20 eBay inverter. That's all. Goodbye.